Good morning, everyone. May 18th, and the biggest news story that we have breaking right now is a school shooting, another one that happened in Santa Fe, Texas, just this morning. The suspect is in custody, uninjured. Somehow, there's another person detained, and there's a few people dead from this incident. If you're a good critical thinker, the false flag alarms should automatically already be going off within you, because when the deep state has things to distract us from, which they definitely do right now, we'll talk about a few of them here, they go and pull incidents like this. This is modus operandi. Another day, another distraction, another school shooting or, quote, terrorist-related incident. And we're going to go through, like I said, a few of the things they're distracting us from, but there's a couple other gun-related incidents that I want to point out before we move on. In Las Vegas last night, luckily, this didn't end up as an actual shooting. No one was injured, but at the Boulevard Mall in Vegas, there was a person seen with a mask and a gun, and they were waving it around, and people were freaking out, and authorities were called. Incident scene occurred, but the gun was luckily found to just be a fake. You know, I just thought this was interesting. Any normal person wouldn't go and just do this, you know, and I know, of course, there's a lot of unstable, abnormal people around, but, you know, circumstantially with everything else going on, could have been some kind of pulled distraction. And we have another event. This one, coincidentally, maybe not coincidentally, happened at a Trump-owned resort golf club. Police take down a gunman yelling anti-Trump rhetoric at Trump National Doral Golf Club. This dude apparently went into the business there, draped a U.S. flag over the counter in the lobby, and just was waving around a gun. Luckily, there was no one shot with this one except the gunman himself pulling the crazy incident. But again, maybe they're even trying to distract from this right here. Of course, a direct message sent to Trump administration, people in the White Hat Alliance, if you will. But shoot, another thing they could be distracting us from with this Santa Fe shooting could be this message sent right there. And one thing needs to be noted about any of these false flag, very questionable incidents that occurs is that the patsy can always be mind controlled to do these things. I've talked about the voice of God technologies before. It's publicly known that the MK Ultra programs existed back in the 60s and 70s, and we can definitely gather that various control programs would still be going on now, different code names, much more secretive. But many of these people that pull these incidences, the patsies, if you will, they can be controlled to do that. And who controls them? Well, deep state, shadow government groups, and whatever corporate contractors they might be connected to. So lots of shootings occurring. Again, guys, stay vigilant. This is something even Q warned us about yesterday, I believe. So stay vigilant and understand what's going on. Share that information, right? Don't be scared to do so, because the only way we're going to get rid of these mass shootings is through public awareness. And kind of on the same topic of mass shootings, but this one little different. I just saw this article in thedailymail.com, and it's saying Las Vegas gunman, quote, was a right-wing conspiracy theorist. Stephen Paddock ranted about Waco, FEMA camps, military was planning to kick down doors and confiscate guns. So this is kind of painfully obvious coming out right now, what kind of propaganda they're trying to get into people's heads. They're just saying that, oh, anybody that pulls these shootings, they're all crazy conspiracy theorists. They're probably going to use the term, what they usually throw, alt-right, anti-Semitic, and kind of whatever ridiculing, discrediting labels they can throw on these kind of people. But like I said, patsy, convenient patsies are mind controlled to do these things. And then, of course, what agendas they're going to bring out, labeling a whole general group of many just truth-seeking people as crazy, mind control the mainstream. And, you know, there's many convenient reasons they do these kind of things, and you can see all the propaganda play out from them. One of the things they're probably trying to distract us from right now, look at here, Mueller told Trump's legal team he will not indict the president. Trump's new lawyer, of course, Rudy Giuliani, said, and they say they can't indict a sitting president. So the case is essentially over, Giuliani's saying. They're just in denial. So we're pretty much having an end to the Russia investigation. And of course, this Russia investigation has been all that the deep state has been foaming at the mouth for over the last year. And They're just pulling at nothing, trying to get something moving with that, but it's not going to happen anymore. That game's pretty much over, so hey, that's why they need distractions now, right? And we also have information coming out about the Vatican. Lots of popes having a good May. Or bad May for the Pope, right? A lot of heat on the Pope in the Vatican. And this one, the Vatican calling for a new regulation of financial activities, trying to save face, I'm sure, trying to act like that their bank and their connected groups haven't been the ones keeping humanity poor for centuries and centuries. But Vatican calling for a new regulation of financial activities at the very same time that we have 34 Chilean bishops resigning to Pope over the abuse scandal. So lots of deep, dark secrets coming out about the Vatican right now. Their involvement in sexual abuse and the cover-up of, I'm sure, what would be human and child trafficking. So nasty stuff coming out, which is why they're trying to save face. Oh, new financial activities. Oh, the Pope's, denouncing this. But is the Pope going to admit what really goes on there? I doubt it. And a quick word from a sponsor of this channel here, Natural Hemp Oil, naturalhempoil.com. If you want to try CBDs out for your brain, for your body, they help with anxiety, they help with inflammation. You can go do so, and Natural Hemp Oil makes an awesome product. So I'll link them down below. And I want to take a minute here to discuss Israel, because this is something that's, of course, very hot topic in the news over the past week. Lots of stuff going on in the Middle East. Israel essentially killing, murdering lots of Palestinians. And I've seen propaganda from everywhere. I've been seeing people say, oh, but the Palestinians were Hamas terrorists and things like that. And then we saw some kind of video of a guy scratching his face, acting like he was I think, dead Palestinian. And you could see that they weren't really dead. Was that, pro-Israeli propaganda? Don't know. Might have been a fake video. And then I've seen a lot of Israel apologists say that, oh, Israel had a right to shoot all these people. I don't really know what's going on over there, to be frank, but the important thing that goes to note here, that we can't blanket label Israel. Yes, I'm sure a lot of great people in Israel. I've had people from Israel reach out to me saying that they like my work and they want to see the deep state exposed. But of course, we know that there's hell of a lot of infiltration in Israel with the Mossad, with Israeli intelligence. I'm sure there's connections between bad actors in Israeli intelligence and, of course, the CIA and very sick people here. So we can't blanket apologize for Israel here. It has to be, straight up what the Khazarian Mafia Zionists have been involved in our society and with Israel's history. So yeah, just that's important to note. Anybody not talking about that, I would scratch my head and wonder why. Are they just unaware, or are they purposefully not talking about it? I want to talk about the opioid crisis right here. I saw this article a couple days ago on NBC. So it was mainstream media, NBC, and it says the opioid crisis makes more organs available. Organs from overdose victims are safe, studies show. Of course, lots of studies can just be made up, fabricated. I would never take an organ from an overdose victim. But when I saw this, I just thought, wow, organ trafficking. The deep state's involved in trafficking on the black market of anything you could possibly imagine. But organ trafficking is a huge way they make a lot of black market money. And wow, the opioid crisis opening up more organs, of course, for the organ trafficking industry. So, we're getting into some sick stuff here, but this cabal, they, of course, traffic drugs, opioids especially. Why are we in Afghanistan? And so they traffic these drugs, and people go and get addicted to them, and they die, they overdose and whatnot. And then, wow, you open up a bunch of organs for the organ trafficking industry. It's like a multifaceted, money-making, sick approach they have there. And the more you think about it and kind of understand how the web weaves together, the more just sick and, intense and deep, and like, wow, all the dots begin to connect, and it just makes a lot of sense. If these psychopathic individuals want to get money and maintain power, they're going to do whatever they can to do so, and they're some freaking smart individuals. So they've weaved some very entangled webs, and it goes so much deeper than I'm sure many of us, even myself, can even imagine. Next topic, look at this. Secret Service busts Texas pedophile with 58 terabytes of child porn after the largest raid in history. Of course, more stuff breaking, more evil getting exposed that Deep State wants a distraction from, but 58 freaking terabytes. Holy shit, these people are sick. And on one end, I mean, of course, it's gross. Just discussing 58 terabytes. Do you understand how much that's? I mean, I have a 1 terabyte hard drive. That would be 58 of those. That would mean he would need at least like 6 to 10 grand just for the hard drives, all the time to do it. And of course, creating the disgusting content. And of course, I wonder what kind of other information this is going to lead to. Hopefully other names. And of course, hopefully this goes up the ladder. So I don't think this is a coincidence with everything going on right now. And very last thing I want to talk about in this video is the nomination of the new CIA director, Gina Haspel, first woman to lead the agency. So that'll give a shut up to the whole, oh, Trump is a sexist comments. But at the same time, of course, CIA. Clowns in America. Nobody really likes the CIA. A lot of bad stuff happens there. So Gina Haspel becoming the head of it. Now, a few thoughts on this. One is that I've seen the mainstream media, you know, the propaganda outlets, the negative bad ones, they've given a lot of heat to Gina Haspel over the last couple of weeks. So on one end, I'm like scratching my head. Interesting. They wouldn't be doing that if they didn't want her there. But at the same time, what does this woman know? We're hoping that she'll kind of get on the plan, get on board, if you will, and I hope then that she leads to the, of course, disclosures of some of the stuff going on within the CIA in regards to everything. Of course, the deep, dark trafficking issues, but then, of course, the technology projects. There's a lot of unacknowledged, very secretive advanced technology projects the CIA has been involved in. So Gina Haspel, my questions, what has she been read in on? What does she actually know? And what is she going to work to expose? So we'll see. And that's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and commenting and sharing and doing everything you're doing to get this great awakening moving. I'll be doing some different kinds of videos coming up because I'll be going some places, and I'm excited to be bringing you guys some new ideas and a lot more creative content very soon. Be safe.